Hi, I'm Dr. Rich. I'm teaching you about dentistry and teeth so you can have a very nice smile.
Okay, today's going to be the follow-up visit for the immediate denture. So this is what I'm using. Got my articulating paper, a little piece of troll foil. Comes with its own built-in handle, which is nice. So we're going to check the bite and adjust it to balance it out. And we're also going to use some Dr. Thompson's color transfer sticks. So this is just a wooden stick with a little bit of blue indigo dye on the tip of it. Dip it in some water, just wet the tip down, and if there's any sore spots in the mouth, which I know there will be, we just circle them with this, put the denture back in, and the blue dye transfers from where the sore spots are onto the denture, so I know exactly where to adjust it with my acrylic burr. I'm just going to use this in the slow speed straight handpiece. If I need to do a lot of adjusting, I have a lab handpiece, electric lab handpiece that I'll use, but otherwise I'm just going to use my Star Titan motor that I've had forever. And I'm usually, later on, once we get some healing, I'll use some pressure indicating paste, but I tend not to use it too much right after some extractions because there's some open wounds and I don't want it. The pressure indicating paste is very messy. All right, so let's get the patient in.
Okay, so this is the first time we're going to be removing the denture, the first time since I inserted it the day before. A little bit of blood, let's take a look and see how they look. Extraction sites are clotted up well, but there are some sore spots just on that buccal flange area, and person tells me that one there by my finger is the most painful. That if you recall, that was that canine that gave me some trouble from the crown snapping off. I had to do a bit more work to get rid of that. I'm just going to eyeball it before I pop it back in with some of that Dr. Thompson's indicating sticks just to make it a little bit more comfortable for the patient. But I'm just going to adjust it with my acrylic burr. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water in my dapping dish, dip the indicator in there, and I'm just going to circle the sore spots that I see. Now when I make an immediate denture, the day of the extractions, I don't do any what's called an alveoloplasty. I don't trim down the jawbone at all. I want to leave as much bone there as possible. Now the color transferred, so I know where the sore spots are, and then I will just lightly relieve them in those areas to make it more comfortable. I find that once the teeth are extracted, the bone around where the teeth used to be is going to shrink and get smaller as it heals. But in the meantime, we can use that to help hold the denture in. So I've had cases where the patient went to see the oral surgeon to get the teeth removed before I fit the immediate denture, and the surgeon ended up doing so much alveoloplasty that there was no retention on the denture, and basically they needed to get snap implants placed in the snap-ins to help hold it in. But I find that doing it this way, just leaving it, it gives me a much better fit down the road. Person's complaining he's still got a sore spot there, that it's the only spot that's still bothering him. And so I'm going to have him point to it exactly so I know. And again, I'm going to circle it with indicating dye. I'm also going to leave my finger right next to it so that when I put the denture back in, press down on it, I can see exactly where that spot was. And it's right there on where that muscle attachment, the little V notch is. And again, I'm just doing a little bit of adjusting. I don't want to do too much adjusting because everything is going to shrink and this denture is going to get looser. So I'm going to try to do just the bare minimum to get the person comfortable. And I explain this to the person, and I also make sure that they understand what's going on, and I don't mind them having come back multiple times for adjustment. It's always a quick, simple visit, usually in and out in 5-10 minutes, that I would rather do it a little bit at a time than do too much and then have the person complaining about how loose the denture is. It's going to get loose anyway as the gum ends up healing. And then in 6 months, we also treatment plan. We're going to do a lab reline to get a nice tighter fit once everything's healed. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video.